Hello and welcome to a crazy little thing called Love Dev, which honestly feels like the perfect title. Not that, but this actual episode. This week we got fake office laughter turning into accidental friendships, the weird irony of donating blood, a surprisingly positive conversation about living in the UK for once, and also I'll give you an update on my recovery since my little incident. We've got more bizarre stories from the live comedy gigs, which was covered from the Comedy Crate, a weird news story involving one word, and we've also got What The, which is all about gold coins. Honestly, this episode, it goes everywhere. Let's get into it. As always, episode 224, Disregard. Hello, everybody. How are we? Good. Yes, I'm okay now. I feel much better than I did. Obviously, you guys know what happened to me last week when I ended up injuring myself. Not on purpose, but yeah, we won't go down to it. Much better now. It's healing up. I haven't been to the gym, which is very frustrating. But then I can't go to the gym because if I start sweating, the glue might come off. And it's been extremely hot in the UK. The weather has been insanely hot. Oh my God, it's so hot, I don't even know what to do. It's so hot, even thinking about it just boils me. And it literally was. I felt like it was boiling me. I feel like I'm turning to a kebab, like a doner kebab. I'm like that now. I've just been spinning round and round. I'm proper burnt on the outside. Probably spicy in the middle. Now that I feel a bit better in myself, I can get back to normal now. I'm still doing my gigs. I had some great gigs on the weekend. I will tell you about them, but I thought let's do a What The? Yes, it's another WTF. Has anyone heard of the horde called the Saddle Ridge Horde? Up in California, there was a couple walking their dog on their property when they noticed part of an old rusted can sticking out of the ground. They dug it up and they found more cans. Eventually, they uncovered 1,427 gold coins dating from the 1840s to the 1890s. Some of them were incredibly rare, which is why the total value was estimated at around 20 million US dollars. Whoa, what a find. Imagine that, finding that in your back garden or your front garden or your yard, whatever you guys call it, your compound. The weird part is, right, imagining the moment, yeah, did the dog find the treasure? Or did they just come across it? I wonder if the dog found it. Maybe the dog did. Meanwhile, most dogs are actually proudly bring back a wet tennis ball and half a pigeon. This dog found a tin of gold coins. There's also a mystery around them about who buried it. Now, some theories suggest it was linked to stolen gold from the San Francisco Mint. But investigators never ever proved that. Most experts think some wealthy buried savings decades ago and just never came back to it. The coins were eventually authenticated and sold through the dealer Kangins Incorporation. And the story became massive news because it's the modern version of finding pirate treasure in your back garden. That is today's interesting fact. Last weekend, I was in Sheffield doing Last Laugh Comedy Club on the Friday and a Saturday. And no, I didn't stay over Everyone always asks that question. Are you staying over? No, I never stay over. I always head back home. Both nights were great. Friday, a little bit quieter in number-wise. I think there was about 60, maybe a little bit more. It was quite compact. It was nicely set out. They were all right, you know what I mean? It weren't like there was energy in the room. I think when there's more people, there's obviously builds up a bit more of an atmosphere. But the Saturday was absolutely amazing. I had a brilliant Saturday. Actually, it was so good, somebody left me a review. I say a review, I mean somebody contacted me. They went onto my website, got on there, because you can send me messages through my website. I don't know if you not know that, but you can. His name was Wayne, and he said, I saw you tonight in Sheffield, and you were absolutely hilarious. One of the best and most natural comedians I've ever seen. Truly outstanding, my friend. Genius. Thank you for a great night. Best wishes, Wayne. And I thought, oh, that's such a nice message, innit? So I basically just replied back to him. I said, mate, I really appreciate it. For me, it's all about connection, and having that with an audience is my number one priority, rather than playing the big arenas and theatres. It is about making people laugh. So I appreciate that. He was a nice guy. I've even thought about using his quote on one of my posters. One of the best and most natural comedians I've ever seen, Wayne. Audience member from Sheffield. So yeah, man, I had a great weekend, and it was nice to receive some positive feedback like that, because as you guys know, I have got my Rick Mail Comedy Festival show coming up next weekend. If you can get tickets to that, I would be over the moon. I would love to have an audience so it can be a bit more of a show. It's at the Cricket Club on June the 6th at 8 o'clock. Come down. Tickets are only £5. That's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. £5 to come and see me. That's a bargain. A full hour show. If you haven't seen Half Soaked, I'm sure you're going to love it. I have tweaked it a little bit, but it's a work in progress. I'm just going to keep working on it until it's, Netflix special ready. I do need to start taking it on tour. I keep saying that. If there's any tour directors out there who listen to this, like my comedy, get in touch through my website. You can send me an email, and then we'll speak. Talking about gigs and stuff. Do you remember last week's episode? I was talking about the Comedy Crate, who's a promoter, and asked a question: what's the most memorable and bizarre thing anyone has ever witnessed at a live comedy gig? Now, we did read a few people's comments. Most of them are comedians. I'm going to carry that on if you don't mind. This one is from, well, they're all from comedians. John Mann said, in late July 1991, I was on at the Meccano Club in North London. Mark Lamar was comparing. There were only a dozen or less people in, so he took the entire audience to another venue around the corner to watch the completely unknown Bill Hicks. He then went back to the Meccano to do the show anyway, and Bill tagged along. That's brilliant. Imagine that, seeing Bill Hicks before he was even Bill Hicks. That's incredible. I wish I was at that gig. John Pearson, who's another comic, said I made out at a couple were having an affair. All the crowd were like a pantomime crowd, booing, etc. Until he said, she's a widow. It happened last week. Mark and Ben were there. My next question was, what is your favourite urn? But then said, I thought she looked like she had bought a different bloke than normal. Fred Frenzy, a gig in Hemel Hempstead, rough as an arsehole pub. Clientele like the rejects from a Tommy march. Massively drunken old guys. One collapsed from alcohol poisoning. There was so much blood from his head wound, the ambulance attended. What an awful gig. Oh my God. Another one says, someone popped their glass eye out and gave it to me. They were happy for it to be passed around. Good times. Pete Prodge from Tamworth, a tall 18-year-old girl, comes up to me pre-gig, strokes my father rather seductively, and asks me, are you the lesbian on the poster? And I'm there doing Trisha Timpson, so he plays an act, like a drag act. And ever since then, he's never dragged up. Dawn Bailey says Mick Ferry was headlining a gig in the Midlands. I drove him there for a spot on the bill. He had just started his set when the door opened and a lady handed him a plate of sandwiches and asked him to pass them round the audience. Oh, that's great. Should we read one more and then because there's so many of them, we'll read one more. Jake Pickford has put down, I wonder if anyone can beat this. Let me set the scene. The MC was doing a bit about I'm a Celebrity and had chocolate cover worms, jelly crickets, that kind of thing. He gets two people up from the audience to do a fake Bush Tucker trial style eating thing. One guy eats the whole lot of bugs, then proceeds to throw up on the paper plate that held the original bugs. That's not the most memorable, bizarre part. A random man gets up from the audience, marches to the front of the stage, grabs the plate of puke and funnels it down his throat like a chunky soup. He then turns to the audience, raises his arms in victory after swallowing another man's vomit. What? And the crowd go wild. Not one act that night got close to a response as enthusiastic as that. Just another typical night in Wellingborough. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Another audience member went up, grabbed the plate of puke off a stranger and downed it. Oh, man, I don't know what to say about that. I don't think anyone can beat that, Jake. That's probably the topper of all toppers. But will it be? We will carry this on the following episode to see what more bizarre things happen at comedy gigs. So let's move on, as we always do, from the Reddit forum. I've decided to go with something called Random Thoughts. Random. This is so random, no one knows what it's about, including myself. Antasia Dion on the Random Thought forum. Turns out donating blood regularly isn't always a good thing. Why not? I think maybe because you pass out, isn't it? Isn't there like a certain rule? You can't give so much blood at a certain amount of time. Or am I wrong? Let's find out. Anastasia Dion, or Dion, I think it is. My immediate family have been donating blood 3 or 4 times a year. Now my cousin needs about 6 to 7 bags of blood for his surgery. And we can't donate because we just donated last month. From what my uncle told us, if he receives a direct donor, they will not have to pay for a bag of blood. But every bag that came from the blood bank, they're going to have to pay. So our other family members and friends have been asked to donate, but not everyone is free. I don't think everybody wants to do it. That's the unfortunate thing. Some are busy and cannot directly go to the hospital. Some are not accepted due to high blood pressure and other illnesses. And some are just too young or they're underweight. In the end, they only found 3 donors. Oh my God. I just feel sorry and disappointed since we could have all lifted a bit off the cost if we could just donate, since we can immediately go to the hospital and be accepted. But this is not me advocating not to donate blood. I would still do it regularly, but it's just an unfortunate timing. I can't help someone close to me. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I mean, it's not something you can control. You know, you've tried your best. You've got in touch with family members, and some of them are busy, some are underage. You've already explained all that. It's difficult, especially when you're trying to help a loved one. You know, you're trying to help your cousin out with blood. I don't think many people do donate blood. To be honest with you, I've never done it myself. I've never thought, I should go and donate blood, but maybe I should. I don't know where you are in the country, but in England, there are blood banks and people can donate. I'm not sure if the NHS, that's the National Health Service for those of you out there, Whether they pay people for blood, I think it's all voluntary. I might be wrong. I might have to ask our friend Chat LGBTQ. So here we go. I asked Chat LGBTQ. I basically just said, is it voluntary to give blood in the UK? Does the NHS pay for anything? They've come back to me saying in the UK, giving blood is completely voluntary and unpaid through the NHS blood and transplant. You don't get paid for donating blood, your plasma, your platelets, is it, on the NHS system? The UK stopped paid blood donations decades ago because voluntary donations are considered safer and it's more ethical. What you do usually get is free tea, squash, biscuits, crisps, a mini health check before you're donating, so they'll check your iron levels, your pulse, your blood pressure, donor reward badges after a certain number of donations, the smug feeling of saving lives while eating a club biscuit. A standard blood donation takes around 5 to 10 minutes. Through the whole appointment is usually around an hour with checks and then recovery. So the NHS uses donated blood for accident and emergency patients, cancer treatment, surgery, childbirth complications, and then conditions like sickle cell disease. Now, there are private research studies or clinical trials in the UK that may compensate people for plasma or medical research participation, but that separates from a standard NHS blood donation. Here's a quick fun fact. The NHS especially needs donors with rare blood types and donors from more diverse ethnic backgrounds, so that's me, because some patients need closely matched blood. Do you know, I don't even know what my blood type is. I've got no idea, but I'm sure those mosquitoes that keep biting me during this heat wave definitely know what my blood type is. But going back to random thoughts, I hope you do get more donors. I hope some family members are able to help out. Yeah, man, thank you yourself for doing what you're doing to help your cousin out. I hope everything works out. Can you believe the time just goes like that without even realising? I've got to get ready quite soon for a gig tonight. I'm gigging very local at a comedy club called The Station in Sutton Coldfield. It's been running, it's been there for ages, guys. It's been there for as long as I started. Maybe, 25 years now? That's a guess. I'll find out tonight when I go and speak to Mark. So I'm emceeing it. On the bill, we got Pete Selwood and Brennan Reese off Live at Apollo. Should be fun. I always look forward to gigging. Close to home is even better, isn't it? It's literally 10 minutes in the car and I'm there. Sutton Coldfield, Dan. And everybody knows me in there now, I think. There's quite a lot of regulars. I've done it a few times. So that'll be nice, and I appreciate the owner of the venue approaching me directly and saying, mate, come and MC for us. So that should be fun. Yeah, man, looking forward to that. I've got a gig tomorrow as well. Finally, I had one. It got pulled. And now I've got another one. So, yeah, man, I'm smashing it as always. Hey, talking about smashing it, someone's smashing it on a confession. Confession's the church, red, it's the priest who has got a confession. Well, let's have a look, shall we? It's somebody called Laura Kiant. Laura Kiant. I've got to be careful how I pronounce your surname. Laura Keenant. It's Keenant, guys. Phew. Thought it was Laura Kiant. If Laura is listening to this, she's already turned it off. Now, funny enough, it's to do with laughing. Laura said, I fake laughed at a co-worker's joke for so long that we're now best friends. Well, he thinks we're best friends. You got me worried now. Does that mean my co-workers that work with me, when they laugh along, are they just laughing because they want me to feel good, or is it a genuine laugh and they think I'm a funny man? I don't know. Let's delve into it and find out what Laura Kiant has got to say. So, it says, so old 31 male. I think they're saying, so I'm a 31 male. We're just going to say happy birthday. Or is it there's a 31 male works in this warehouse office? Right, she's on about the bloke. Thank you for clarifying it. Happy birthday to this warehouse office guy in Ohio. And there's this guy called Rick, who's honestly, I swear, has never met a joke. He didn't recycle from Facebook in 2013 and then explain it like we're all idiots. The first week I started there, I made the mistake of laughing at one of his jokes. Did you actually make the mistake, or did you generally find it funny? Not even because it was funny. Oh, there we go. Just because I was new and trying not to be weird about it. Ha 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 ha. And he locked onto me immediately. That was it. You're his target. Like I became his designated audience. Maybe he wants to be a stand-up comedian. After that, it was every morning he'd come by my desk already laughing. Before he even got to the punchline. Oh my God, it sounds like me. Which made it worse because I'd start laughing too, just out of reflex or discomfort or whatever, and people started noticing I was the only one reacting, so he just fully latched onto me. Oh, like a leech. I was part of his routine. Now it's gotten to the point where if Rick is in the lunchroom telling one of his 10-minute stories about like sending a gift to his dentist or what, everyone slowly disappears. And somehow I'm just sitting there alone like the designated listener. He started bringing me coffee and asking about my weekend. At first I thought it was just normal, coworker friendless, but now it feels like I accidentally became his emotional support audience. People at work literally started calling me his work son. Oh no. Which is insane because I'm 31, happy birthday, and he's like 34, happy birthday to him. But I guess office humour is dead anyway. There is some more to this. Oh, Laura, maybe you're just a good person. That's all it is. Maybe this Rick guy hasn't got any friends and he knows people don't like him and he's trying his best. Do you know what? You just be you, honestly. If you generally think this guy is funny, you know, laugh along with him. You're making him feel good, ain't you? But obviously don't give him the wrong signals. But you know what I'm talking about. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I think people feel like that around me. Because I'm always laughing at myself. Let's carry on with what Laura Kiant has to say. I don't even remember exactly when it shifted, but I think I trained myself into reacting so he wouldn't feel awkward. And now I can't tell if I actually find it funny anymore or if I just default laugh. Last week he called off sick and I noticed the office felt weirdly quiet. And I didn't know why that bothered me. Then yesterday he told a joke so bad nobody reacted. And he looked over at me as he was waiting and I just laughed. Aww, not even a fake laugh. Like full actual laugh, and I kind of hated myself for it. You shouldn't hate yourself for it, you know. Like I said, you're making him feel good, you know. Maybe he's a little bit, like, I don't want to use the term, but he could be neurodiverse. He could be a little bit autistic. He could be a shy person. He's probably been bullied in his life. I don't know. You're just making him feel good. And who knows, maybe you're the comedian. Maybe you should tell him some jokes and see how he reacts to it. You can always use a couple of mine. I want to read more what Laura's put down. Yeah, so she said she hated herself after it, but also it came out automatically like muscle memory at this point. Now I'm sitting here thinking, I either accidentally became this guy's only audience, or I just slowly started caring about him in a way I didn't plan for. And I don't know which one is worse, honestly. I think this is my life now. Do you know what? I think just be you, man. Don't worry what other people think. Like, it kind of reminds me of my mate that's passed away. I know, like, he annoyed a lot of people because he kept phoning them, but then eventually he passed away, and I kind of missed the calls, so I know what you mean, like, you miss that. There's no atmosphere, is there, in the office? And I suppose he's kind of trying to liven up the room. He reminds me of the guy Colin from What We Do in the Shadows, the TV series. Kind of like that, where he's like, nobody wants to know him, but, he's a smart guy. You just be you. Maybe you get on because you share the same star sign or you're compatible. Who knows? Maybe I'm going off topic. Maybe you're thinking, listening to this, if you are, I don't even know if you're going to. You might be like, this guy is hilarious, or this guy is annoying. It reminds me of my coworker. I don't know, but it's a great confession, and I really appreciate you sharing it. Now, we got to move on because I can't believe the time of the podcast. Let's end it in style. Well, not end it. Let's do the last topic, and then we'll end it with a weird news story. Obviously, it's a British problem. Yes, you people out there in the USA, in Canada, in Jamaica, in, I don't know, somewhere in Europe, you're probably thinking, those Brits have it all the way. They have everything. I don't know why they're always moaning and complaining. No, we've got our own problems. Yes, we have British problems. And this one has been posted by somebody called Desperate Drawer. Desperate Drawer, what is your problem, mate? We often forget how lucky we are to live in the UK. Okay, that's not really a British problem, but you are absolutely right. We do forget how lucky we are to live in the UK. We get free healthcare, we get benefits, we get good roads, kind of. I know we got potholes and we complain about it. Majority of our roads are decent compared to other parts of the world. Like, you go somewhere in Africa, man, you'll be complaining all the time. So yes, we are lucky, and I do think that the UK is a beautiful country. I said it to my wife yesterday. I said, let's go out. We went to a place called Alvechurch near Birmingham, just on the outskirts. We went there, went to the marina. Then from there we went to Redditch, went to Arrow Valley Country Park, had a little walk around. My son loved it. He loved seeing the ducks and the goose and the geese and this and that. We had a drink and we came back and it was a day out. It was fine. Desperate Drawer is saying, I hear my friends talking about leaving the UK. Now that's bigger, isn't it? That's like big. Like, you want to leave England, there's got to be a reason. Or Wales, Scotland, UK's whole, isn't it? Because it's dull, lack of opportunities, many speak about working in another country. I thought about it myself. I thought, let's move to Canada. Maybe we can go to the US. I don't know. I don't know why I want to go to the US, but you know what I mean. Let's get out of it. Even Australia. I thought about that. However, says Desperate, it is easy to forget that we've got beautiful greenery. Yep, I agree. A super culture. We've got loads of cultures, haven't we? We've got cultures from other people, like obviously the Punjabis, and then the Kurds and this and then that. They bring their own culture in. But then we got the British culture of going to the pub, mate, having fish and chips, having a carvery on a Sunday, moaning about the weather like we always do. It's been frigging up, by the way. Yeah, so that's what we do. So, and many things to go and see and do. We've got loads of stuff to go and see. The UK's got so many hidden gems. You'd be surprised, honestly. If you don't know your area that well, or you do, you will always find something anyway. You'll be like, oh, I didn't know there was a ruins round the corner, or a historical site, a listed building. Do you know what I mean? There's always a hidden thing in this country. That's why I love gigging, and that's why I love travelling. Now, there are tons of opportunities as well, says Desperate Drawer. Absolutely spot on, mate. There is loads. So, yeah, next time you're from the UK and you're listening to this and you're thinking, there's nothing to do round here, I'm so frigging bored, go on, ask Chat LGBTQ, or just Google something, say, things to do near me, or things to see, hidden gems an hour away. You'll find something. Honestly, you'll be absolutely amazed. Thanks for that, Desperate Drawer. That was great. And I'm going to just end this podcast now with, obviously, a weird news story. Who would have thought a single word would make it into a weird news story? Yes, just one word. How can that be possible? I'll tell you why. It's because you can no longer Google the word disregard. Why is that a weird news story? I don't know. Let's go and find out. Now, earlier this week, Google rolled out a completely new search experience, foregrounding that AI summarizes and kicking the traditional 10 blue links far down the page. But the sheer scale of a Google search means there are lots of edge cases that the company doesn't seem to have considered. For instance, that is if you type the word disregard into a Google search. Google has been catching some flack on social media for this, and it's easy to see why. As you'll notice, the Merriam-Webster link is still in there, but you have to scroll past a huge block of empty spaces. For users, that single reply is the only thing you'll see. And crucially, the AI response serves no conceivable value to a user searching the word disregard, probably because it's been disregarded. It's just a broken tool. For context, here is the same search in Bing, and there's a picture of Bing, which has been less aggressive about how AI summarizes it. It's not perfect, but there is some useful information to be found here. Disregard, pay no attention to, or ignore. I have been a professional tech journalist for nearly 15 years, says someone. And before today, I cannot think of a single time when a Bing search result was a lot more valuable than a Google. There really is a first time for everything. That's supposed to be the weird news story. That's not even a proper weird news story, is it? That's just boring. Who cares about a word called disregard? Google's changing everything now. They change the logos. I don't even know what they're doing. All companies do it, and they love moving. It's like when you go into Aldi or Lidl, and you know where everything is, and then they decide to move it all. How annoying is that? I know where the cereal is, mate. I know where my cheese buns are. I don't even know why I called it cheese buns. Where's the cheese buns? Never heard of that. Yeah, they're there, mate. No, they're not. You moved them. It's exactly what Google's done. It's literally just moved it, replaced it with something that's supposed to be clever, and no one really cares, because I don't. Oh, well, I'll tell you what I do care about. The two shows that are coming up. Griff's fundraiser at the Glee Club, June the 2nd, and then my solo show at the Rick Mel Comedy Festival on June the 6th. It's going to be great. If not, you should have been there. Right, see you lot next week. Bye-bye.